Hi, I'm Matthew Bruce, writer of For the Love of Celluloid blog, and today I'm going to look back at Richard Fleischer's film The Last Run, starring George C. Scott from 1971.
When it's all said and done,
George C. Scott, the man who made tempestuousness bankable stuff on the screen, a consummate bearer of American patriotism, if ever there was one. If he's not chasing his daughter's traffickers in Paul Schrader's Hardcore from 1979, he's barking orders as the famous General George S. Patton in Franklin J. Schaffner's self-titled film Patton from 1970. In whatever incarnation, he's got your back, and his own. In this acting turn, Scott plays Harry Garms, a retired driver for criminals who's living a quiet yet fruitless existence in a village in Portugal. With no further purpose in life, and only a prostitute, an occasional lover, for company, Scott decides to gamble this, in some ways enviously sedate life, in favour of one last run, a job transporting an escaped killer, Paul Ricard, played by Tony Musante, and his girlfriend, Claudie Scherer, played by Trish Van der Veer, across Portugal and Spain, into France. The film plays out as a sort of midlife crisis piece, albeit loaded with thrilling action and spectacular car chases, with Garm's 1956 BMW 503 Cabriolet being photographed at every angle, a sort of pornography for car fetishists. On this rollercoaster journey, Garms begins to fall for the female protagonist, played by Van der Veer, who, like her boyfriend, is very much a product of the free-spiritedness of the swinging 60s and early 70s. Garm's contemplation of a relationship with a younger woman, coupled with her flirtations towards him, faintly recalls trashy drive-in movies of the previous decade, such as Weekend with the Babysitter, in which an older man with conservative values becomes acquainted with the far-out freedoms of the hippie generation. In terms of the film's cinematography, the widescreen shots of the perilous and graceful movements of the film's cars are inspiring, and a sequence near the beginning heavily recalls the opening sequence of Peter Collinson's The Italian Job from 1969, in which Rossano Brazzi is filmed driving his Lamborghini in a predominantly over-the-shoulder manner. Where this film really succeeds for me is in channeling the spy vibe of the 60s and 70s, and this is thanks in large part to Jerry Goldsmith's wonderful music score. The swooning title song is sung by Steve Lawrence, sounding in some places uncannily like Matt Monro, another reference perhaps to The Italian Job. The film's original poster promises a story in the tradition of Hemingway and Bogart, and in my estimation it doesn't quite deliver. Perhaps the film would have been given more gravitas if John Huston had directed instead of Richard Fleischer. Curiously, Huston walked out on the production after fights with George C. Scott. Also of interest is the fact that Scott fell in love with actress Trish Van der Veer during production, and they would go on to make several movies together as husband and wife. So despite critical failure, something good came out of this movie. Moreover, George C. Scott is one of a rare variety of actors who can get away with playing himself, or better said, virtually the same role in each film. In this sense, Scott's acting in The Last Run is irreproachable. The Last Run has never had a physical UK home release, hence why I imported this playable Region B copy from Spain by the studio Yamentol under the title Fuga Sin Fin. Unfortunately, no extras here, but nonetheless, the disc presents a good transfer of the film in its original widescreen presentation. The film is now also available to stream with Amazon Video. Watch this film on a Friday night as a slice of nostalgic 70s crime entertainment, but don't expect it to show the bravura of the other aforesaid George C. Scott outings. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more from For the Love of Celluloid blog. Please follow me on social media and at my website in the video description.
I suppose when it's all said and done, I suppose when I've made my life